Oh, okay. We're probably a little early, I guess.
I know. I am Uche, just in case. It's a pleasure, Christina.
Yes, this is Christina Arquette calling from Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is Uche Animadu calling from Houston, Texas.
Oh, great.
Hi, this is Alita in Louisiana.
Oh, hi. Are you driving?
No, not yet.
Someone's in their car.
We can see. Okay. All right, McGaffney, Alabama.
Hi there, everyone.
Hey.
Hey there. How are you?
Hi.
Great. Okay. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Do we need to reintroduce ourselves again, or?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I said, do we need to reintroduce ourselves again?
Yes, in just 1 second, I'm going to have you do that. I just wanted to set this up real quick.
Rick, this is Vivian. I'm doing what I always do, driving, so I won't be able to get back on.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Be careful.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, appreciate it.
Okay. Hey, Ulysses, can you hear me okay, Ulysses?
Yes, I can hear you good.
Okay, great. All right. So I also see, if we can, maybe you can introduce yourself to me so I know who I have on the call. Okay. I see Vivian is with us. I see Ulysses. I see, who else? I think everybody is unmuted. Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Christina. Okay, excellent. Okay, Ulysses, I don't know how many people you invited, so I'm just checking with you. Do you want me to get started, or are we?
Yes, I have a couple of people, and Alita have a couple of people. I'm not sure if she's going to be on the call.
Okay.
Yeah, you can probably wait about another minute and you can go ahead and get started, Rick.
Okay, great. Super.
Uche Animadu checking in.
Okay, nice to see you. And thank you for joining us. I also see somebody by the name of Gaffney. Is that correct?
Yes, May Gaffney, Alabama.
Okay. Welcome to the call. I see a Christina.
Yes, hi. I'm from
Hi there,
Arizona.
Okay, great. Arizona in the house. Great. Excellent. And I do see a Charles Thompson. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep us unmuted so that people can ask questions. If it gets too noisy, I will certainly mute the line. And then if you need to ask a question, just unmute yourself and come on and ask the question. This is what this is about. This is about you guys getting to know what Fund My Home is all about. And so I encourage questions so that you can, by the end of the presentation, you have a good feel of fundmyhome.org, and maybe you will decide to join us in terms of being one of our associate members. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little history on myself real quick. Again, my name is Rick Paniss, and I was born in New York and moved to Massachusetts at a very young age. I became a court officer up in Massachusetts and reached the rank of chief court officer of 3 courthouses in Massachusetts. Unfortunately, I worked with the court system for 31 years, but unfortunately, I ended up getting injured with an inmate and had to retire early. So I decided to get out of the snow up in Massachusetts, and I came down to Florida. Again, unfortunately, I ended up getting sick. I've had some health problems throughout my life, and but I got severely sick with kidney issues, and actually was heading for to get on the list for a kidney transplant at the University of Tampa Hospital. It's called Tampa General, and but a friend of mine who knew my situation about my health issues introduced me to some natural products, so I started to take them. And when I started to take them, just a few months after, for the first time in over 3 years, my numbers actually improved. My kidney numbers actually improved, and it actually improved to the point where I was no longer eligible to get on the list for a kidney transplant, which is a great thing, and I give God all the credit for it. And so a few months go by, and I was. I had 7 kids. My wife and I had 3 biological. We adopted 4. So I always did something extra to make extra money to help support them. And so I started praying about, what could I do? I was just down here for that I can do that can make a difference. And God answered that prayer, and He brought this opportunity to me. I started working on this opportunity, and I got introduced in September and started working at the end of September, beginning of October, and starting to build a pretty good team with this company. So with that, I'm going to start a video that we're going to watch. I'm going to stop it in between different things just to input some key points. And again, if there's any questions that might come up during that, if you have a question, please, I'll stop the recording and have you ask the question.
Need down payment assistance or a business opportunity? Introducing fundmyhome.org, a peer-to-peer social media referring society. Key benefits of what makes our down payment assistance and business opportunity so different and attractive. No application or broker fees. 5 to 7 day approvals. Close in 30 to 45 days from signed purchase agreement. Close with 0 or little out of pocket. Owner occupied for residential properties up to 4 units. No income limits. 580 credit scores and less than 580 credit scores. Non-repayable. No liens or second mortgages. Student loan forgiveness program. Not limited to first-time home buyers. No products to sell or consume. No competition. Enhanced customer loyalty. For the people by the people. No licenses required.
Okay, so a few key points of our program. First and foremost, for our customers, for our clients, we have no application fee and no broker fee. We don't charge them anything for them to see if they qualify for our program. We can get them approved with our grant company within 5 to 7 days of them uploading their documents. And then we can close the transactions 30 to 45 days after they sign a purchase and sales agreement. Okay, and the reason for that is because when they're looking for a home, all of their stuff is already done. It's already completed. So, and I'll go into that in more detail later in the presentation. We try to get everyone to close with zero or little money out of their own pocket, okay? For example, I don't know if many of the associate members that are on the call already have seen my Facebook page, but just earlier today, approximately 2 o'clock today, I gave a grant away for $48,000. And the lady with husband, wife, and 5 children, and they are closing with no money out of their pocket. It's just amazing. We could do single family homes all the way up to 4 family homes. So you can, as long as it's your primary residence, you can live in one unit and rent the other ones. That's perfectly fine. Okay. No income limits. A lot of programs, city programs and grant programs have the median income. You have to be between 50 and 80% of the median income. We don't have that. Again, we can work with people with 580 credit scores and sometimes even lower than 580 credit scores. In addition to that, we have a program to help them get up to the 580 credit scores that we need them to be at. Okay, here's the most important box that I want you to understand is that our grants are non-repayable. No liens, no second mortgages, no strings attached to our money, okay? Once you sign on the dotted line of your mortgage, the only responsibility you have is to pay your mortgage, okay? So again, no repayment. The lady that I just gave $48,000 to does not have to pay 1 cent of that back. Student loan forgiveness program. We have a powerful student loan forgiveness program that I'll go into in more detail. But a lot of people are that have student loan problems cannot get mortgages. This is not limited to first-time home buyers. We do first-time home buyers, but it's not limited to first-time home buyers. Okay. So, and now for the business sense of it. Okay. Well, we're not selling anything. There's no products to sell. We don't have to store stuff in our garage or anything like that because we're not selling anything. We are giving grants to people for down payment and closing costs. That's what we do. Okay. There is no competition. I feel free to Google grant companies across the United States. There is not one other company in the United States doing what we're doing. Now, you can work with some cities or counties or municipalities that have grant programs. Unfortunately, a lot of those grant programs run out of money, and it's not an easy job to get. Okay, enhanced customer loyalties. What do I mean by that? Okay, when you give somebody a grant, like the lady I just did earlier today, once she closes on her new home with her family, who is she going to tell? She is going to tell everybody that she knows that the reason she's in that house is because she got a grant from FromMyHome.org, and she's going to introduce me to many, many, many people. Okay, and this company is for the people, by the people. Again, this is a people-oriented business, and in order to become a member of Fund My Home, you have to be invited by another associate member. Here's a big key. No license required. We don't need a mortgage license because we're not mortgage brokers. We don't need a real estate license because we're not real estate agents. We are a marketing company. That's all we are. We are a marketing company. Our main thing to do is to bring somebody to qualify for a grant. That's all we do, and that's what we get paid for. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to go on.
Doing well by doing good. What is FundMyHome.org? FundMyHome.org is a down payment assistance program managed in collaboration with Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance Incorporated, a 501c3 nonprofit organization providing homeownership opportunities. Zero down payment. We provide home buyers with money for down payment and closing costs. Our goal is to help bring home buyers to close with zero or little out of pocket. Fundmyhome.org is not a lender. Nevertheless, fundmyhome.org helps its preferred lenders approve more home buyers by helping to provide funds needed for down payment and closing costs. Also, on a case-by-case basis, it may provide home buyers with the funds they need to pay off old collection accounts. This helps to lower home buyers' debt-to-income ratios, therefore increasing their purchasing power. Membership. Membership to fundmyhome.org is free and by invitation only, through and by an existing associate member of fundmyhome.org. A tax-deductible $300 donation to our 501c3 non-profit organization is required. Deferred for up to 1 year. This donation is payroll deducted. A monthly $49 back office maintenance fee is required. The maintenance fee is also payroll deducted. A one-time $49 payment for a sales aid video is required. Produced and delivered by fundmyhome.org. This $49 payment is not payroll deducted. It is paid for by all new associate members within 5 days of enrollment. Paid on Cash App, hashtag $fundmyhomeorg. Or paid by money order payable to Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance Incorporated, mailed to fundmyhome.org at 931 Lake Wyman Road.
Okay, let me just clarify this so everybody understands. It doesn't cost anything to join fundmyhome.org. You could join up right after this call and it costs you absolutely nothing. They do require you to get what they call a sales video. It's a sales aid video that helps you promote yourselves. It's a little video tells about what we're doing, and at the end of that little commercial is going to be your information. It's going to be your name, your ID number, and your phone number, your website, and all your personal information for the business to be able to promote yourself on Facebook or LinkedIn or any other social media type thing, or sending it out in emails and stuff. So it costs $49 for this tool. In addition to that, starting next week, we're going to have landing pages and funnels and all kinds of marketing type stuff to help build our business. My understanding that is going to be amazing attraction to our program, and that we are going to be able to build a massive team because of this program, all for $49. The $300 tax deductible donation is required within 1 year of you joining the company, if and only if you're making money. Okay, so example, if 2 months from now you made $4,000 or $5,000, they're going to ask you to make a $300 donation to the nonprofit organization. And the same thing with the $49 back office. It costs money to run the back office, but they're not going to take money out of you if you're not making any money and stuff. This is only after you start to make money. If you made $1,500 next month, they're going to take $49 and send you the rest. Okay. And again, if you don't make any money, they're not going to take any money from you, and you don't owe them any money and stuff. They don't charge your bank account. They don't grab your debit card to charge you fees. They have confidence that you are going to make money with this company, and because of that confidence, they will wait until you start to make money to take out these fees. Okay, so again, to enroll with our company, it costs nothing to enroll. They do require you to have a sales aid video that you have to send in a money order or do a cash app of $49. So I hope that is clear. Any questions on that?
Rick,
Go ahead.
the $300 contribution, is that one-time contribution or that's every year?
No, that's one time. That's a good question. That is one time, just one time, so when you join up with the company. So it's not every year. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
For the 33431. Please remember to include your name and ID number on the memo of the cash app or money order. No income limits. Unlike most down payment assistance programs from cities, counties, and states, which limit home buyers' income to only 50 to 80% of their area median household income, fundmyhome.org does not have income limits. Working the proper sequence. Cities, counties, and states require home buyers to first enter into purchase agreements with earnest deposits before applying for their down payment assistance. FundMyHome.org approves homebuyers before they engage sellers into purchase agreements.
Okay, so if anybody is familiar with any type of grant program with the cities, counties, and states, you'll understand that they make you come in and they make you pay for a class that's usually an 8-hour class. You take the class and then they say, go out and find a house. So you go out and you find the house, you fall in love with the house. This is the dream house that you want and stuff. And after you find the house and you put up your earnest deposit, then you're told to come back to apply for a grant. Well, a lot of things happen between that time. One, the city or county or state program could run out of money, or with all the red tape, things can happen, and they get delayed after delayed. We've heard horror stories of grants not being allowed for up to a year. So what happens is you lose that dream house that you want. Well, Fund My Home realizes that was a mistake and that was not the way to do things. So we changed the sequence. What we do, again, as a marketing company, what we do is we get people approved for the grant first. That's the very first step. We get them approved for the grant. Once they know what the grant is, we send them to our preferred lenders. Our preferred lenders know what their grant is going to be, and they have all of their paperwork so that they can approve them for a mortgage. They approve them for the mortgage. They let them know what the mortgage is going to be. They let them know what the rates are going to be. They let them know what all their payments are going to be and stuff like that. And at that point, if the client says, great, let's go for it, then at that point they're signed up with one of our preferred realtors, and our preferred realtors will take them and help them find the house, their dream house. Now, the reason that we can close it in 30, 45 days is because before they even looked and took one step onto a house or inside a house, they are already done. They have their grant, they have their mortgage, and now all they have to do is find their dream house. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
Non-repayable down payment assistance. Unlike most cities, counties, and states, which give down payment assistance in the form of zero interest, deferred payment second mortgages, our down payment assistance is non-repayable. It is gifted without liens or second mortgages. Funds are wire transferred at closing by the 501c3 nonprofit organization. Student loans. FundMyHome.org helps banks approve home buyers who hold high student loan balances and are defaulted student loans. FundMyHome.org helps home buyers burdened by student loans. This is done by restructuring all accounts, whether current or defaulted, which then yields drastically reduced loan balances, terms, and payments. Lower student loan payments means reduced debt-to-income ratios, which then means increased purchasing power. Paid as agreed restructured student loans boost credit scores, which then improves home ownership opportunities. This is neither credit repair nor a temporary fix. The restructuring of student loans is permanent, valid, and lawful. Now, let's talk about student loans for a moment. As of June 2018, Forbes reported that the total U.S. student loan debt was $1.5 trillion and that approximately 44 million people had student loan debt. The average student loan balance per person is near $40,000, while some people owe $100,000 or more. Listen to these folks. On average, 44 million people own nearly $40,000 each in student loans. The challenge with that is that high student loan debt and/or defaulted or delinquent student loans hinder homeownership dreams. The good news is that FundMyHome.org, with its student loan forgiveness program, can help home buyers achieve their homeownership goals, even when they have defaulted or delinquent student loans or have high student loan debt at the time of their initial application.
So our student loan program is so powerful. A lot of times people, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm working with a customer that should be closing in February. They have a $102,000 student loan. They could not get approved. They make good money. They have decent credit, but they could not get approved because of their student loan debt. $102,000, you could see what the debt-to-income ratio would be with that. I'm going to show you on our calculator the power of our student loan program. But our student loan program is not a temporary fix. Our student loan program will fix any dings that they might have had on their credit because of it. and start it all over like it's a restructured student loan, so that they have no dings and no problems. And it'll also lower their debt to income ratio with our program. And I'm going to show that to you on our calculator.
580 credit score. FundMyHome.org helps approve home buyers with credit scores as low as 580 on a case-by-case basis. FundMyHome.org will attempt to help approve home buyers with less than 580 credit scores. FundMyHome.org also helps home buyers increase credit scores by helping to insert their rental history, utilities, mobile phone bills and insurance payments on their credit reports. Less than 580 credit scores. FundMyHome.org will help approve home buyers with less than 580 credit scores, provided that 1. They first use our down payment assistance calculator to determine for themselves the dollar amount of their potential eligibility and match it to their local real estate market conditions. 2. They do not have active back pay child support, do not have active judgments or tax liens, do not have foreclosures, deeds in lieu of foreclosures or bankruptcies in last 3 years. 3. They pay for the cost of inserting their rental history, utilities, mobile phone bills, and insurance payments on their credit reports at an approximate cost of $200. 4. They pay to reinstate and restructure their delinquent or defaulted student loans at an approximate cost of $400. 5. They pay FundMyHome.org a $495 refundable retainer. This retainer is only refundable in such cases where FundMyHome.org is unable to approve the transaction. Otherwise, the retainer will be applied towards the homebuyer's closing costs at the day that the closing of their home takes place. The refundable retainer is not an application fee, and it only applies to those with less than 580 credit scores. The refundable retainer is used as an indicator of the homebuyer's willingness to proceed until their buying process is completed.
So that program is, again, only for people that have credit scores below 580 credit scores. We have the charges that we charge them is to make sure that they're going to continue with the program. Again, here's the positive thing. If we cannot get a person's credit score above the 580 where we need them to be, they're going to get that money back 100%. And if we can get them to 580 where we need them to be, that money is going to go towards their closing costs. So if they qualify for one of our programs, which includes zero out of pocket or no closing costs, then they will get that money back at closing. And I'm going to go into how that happens in later on in the presentation. Okay, so let me continue with this.
5 to 7 days approvals. Applications can be decisioned within 5 to 7 days of receipt of home buyer's completed application and supportive documentation. Close in 30 to 45 days. Home buyers typically close within 30 to 45 days of signed purchase agreements.
Okay, so I'm just going to touch upon that 5 to 7 days real quick. So what does that mean? It means that once I submit once my client submits their documents, their supportive documents, all the documents they need to get a mortgage approval, then the grant company will give them a decision within 5 to 7 days of them receiving all of the paperwork that is needed. Okay, I can tell you this, that the lady that I worked with today got all of her paperwork in. Today is Tuesday. She got all of her paperwork in on Friday. And today's only Tuesday, and she got her grant approval today. It took them 3 days to notify her of her grant. So they say 5 to 7 days, but most of the time it happens faster than that. Now, where are we at with the process with her? They're going through the loan program right now. As soon as they get the loan program, she can go and look for a house, and we can close that deal in 30 to 45 days. They told her today that she would be in her house no later than March 7th of 2020.
Best of all, with FundMyHome.org, there are no application fees or broker fees, no first-time homebuyer classes to take or pay for, no income limits. The down payment assistance is non-repayable. Nevertheless, homebuyers pay for their own credit report, $39, their earnest deposit to their sellers, which fundmyhome.org recommends that home buyers have a minimum of $3,000 for earnest deposits. Their appraisal reports at an average cost of $450. Their home inspection reports at an average cost of $350. Please note that U.S. veterans and those purchasing homes inside USDA designated areas will always recover their initial out-of-pocket expenses at closing, as well as those who fundmyhome.org is able to bring to close with zero out-of-pocket. Some conditions may apply.
Okay, so again, for our clients, there are no application fee, no broker fees. There's no first-time homebuyer classes to take or to pay for. We have no income limits. Okay, our down payment assistance is non-repayable. I cannot say that enough. People always think, oh, there's got to be a catch. Well, there's not. The money that you get is a gift and it's non-repayable. Okay. Now we do have the traditional costs that any type of real estate program that you're in, you're going to have these traditional costs. One is that the bank is going to charge you to pull your credit, and that's about a $39 fee. Okay. And that, believe it or not, is the only fee that you will pay before you make your decision, because the bank can't make a decision until they pull your credit and see that you're credit worthy and that you're above the 580 that we need you to be. So you will pay that $39. Other than that, you're not paying anything until you make the decision to move forward. So if once you move forward, if you go and you find a house and you have to put up an earnest deposit, we recommend $3,000, but the earnest deposit is whatever the sale of the house will take to take the house off the market. Okay, it might be $1,000. It might be $1,500. It could be $5,000. Whatever the seller says, we don't control that at fundmyhome.org. Whatever they say is the earnest deposit requirement, that's what you have to pay. In addition to that, you're going to have to pay your appraisal fee and your home inspection fee. Again, this is after you've been approved for everything. Your mortgage, your grant, and your mortgage, you're approved, and you all you're doing is trying to find your house at this time. Okay, now, in addition to that, any United States veteran will close with no money out of pocket. Okay, so they have their certificate. The certificate will pay their down payment, but a lot of times there are closing costs involved, and the only way that they get rid of those closing costs is usually they put them into the loan, or in our case, we'll pay the closing costs for them and give them a grant for the closing costs. So they will close with no money out of pocket. In addition to that, anybody that has a 580 credit score and decides to buy a home in a USDA area will also close with no money down, no money out of their pocket, following the same example as above. And I'll go into that in more detail as well.
Follow the process in order to maximize our movement and great business opportunity. Step 1. Time to learn. Learn everything you can about fundmyhome.org. After all, an educated associate member is our best partner. Step 2. Share this opportunity with your friends and family, co-workers, neighbors, and everyone you meet by inviting them to our business opportunity overview webinars conducted nightly by our home office. Step 3. Conduct your own webinars with your home buyers and guide them through our customer success training. Remember, our best customer is an educated consumer. What's the next step? Good question. Just do it again. Meet your team. Fundmyhome.org assigns homebuyer to one of its preferred realtors who searches and emails listing information on available properties that closely match homebuyers' buying criteria and sets appointments to view selected properties. Fundmyhome.org assigns homebuyer to one of its preferred lenders who will complete and process their loan application. Purchase agreement. Once the homebuyer has signed a purchase agreement, he or she gives seller the earnest deposit. Earnest deposit is deposited directly with the preferred title company. Earnest deposit is paid by home buyer out of home buyer's own funds. Earnest deposit is protected by the terms and conditions of the contract. Fundmyhome.org does not receive or handle earnest deposits. Payday. Once your homebuyer enters into a purchase agreement, your job is done. Fundmyhome.org pays $3,200 per transaction, paid down between you and 8 levels of overrides. Compensation takes place upon the culmination of the property inspection period, provided that homebuyer remains under contract. You do not have to wait until the transaction closes to get paid. There are never chargebacks. even if transactions fail to close. Weekly payroll, what comes in on Thursday is paid on Friday. Loan closing. Real estate mortgage grants and down payment assistance incorporated. Wire transfers to title company or closing agent the funds allocated for down payment assistance. Bank wire transfers the mortgage loan funds to title company and emails funding docs. Home buyer wire transfers to title company what remaining funds are needed to close. Seller signs seller's docs. Home buyer signs buyer's docs, mortgage and note. Title company closes purchase transaction. Home buyer receives keys and closing documents. The end. Home buyer becomes homeowner. Coming soon. What we have on the way. Nationwide TV campaign. As you know, we are preparing for our nationwide TV commercial which will air in 47 states. Our TV commercial campaign is expected to generate strong interest from down payment assistance recipients. Certified FundMyHome.org associate members are expected to participate in the cost and response of this upcoming TV commercial campaign. This cost to associate members is payroll deducted. Callers are pre-screened by professional operators at the call center working for the TV production company for 680 credit scores, $85,000 yearly income, time frame and W-2 employment status.
Okay, so this is what's about to happen. We are about to open up nationwide. Our TV campaign is going to hit over 100 million people across this great country. And what this is going to do, this is sort of like our A paper. In the mortgage industry, you hear A paper, these are the top-notch, cream of the crop clients and stuff. Well, that's what this is going to be also. Anybody that gets, the calls are going to go into the TV production company that are going to screen the calls. The only people that are going to get through for this particular program is going to be people that have 680 credit scores or better. They make at least $85,000 and they're W-2 seasoned employees. That means they've been on the job for over 2 years. These people are going to fly through our system and they're going to be able to get our grants very easily. They're not going to have any mortgage problems. Again, there's a lot of people out there that make good income but just can't save enough money for the down payment and the closing costs. And that's where where we come in. There's going to be a cost to this program, and I'm going to show that to you on a calculator later on in the presentation, but this is going to brand us across the country as one of the best companies in the United States. It's going to be amazing. People are just going to be calling in and trying to get more information on the grants. We're going to be taking these calls and we're going to walk them through the grant program. And when I show you the income just from this alone should be reason enough to join our company. But this is above and beyond everything else that we do. But this is going to be absolutely amazing. Any questions on this? Okay, I will be showing you the calculator in a minute.
Our goal is to create 1 million new home buyers. Pay it forward. Share the fundmyhome.org opportunity. It starts with you. Together we can achieve our 1 million new homeowners challenge. So far so good. Ladies and gentlemen, this slide illustrates our down payment assistance.
Okay, I'm going to pass this up because I'm going to actually show you our calculator, our live calculator, and it'll just make more sense when I do that. So I'm going to pass this up here, and I'm going to get into the income part of it. Now, just so you know, I'm going to preference this by saying this. What you're about to see is our lucrative income slide. Now, when I say this, and I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart, there are many people in this organization that are new, just like I am, that are going to make the kind of money that these slides are going to show in the first few slides. And they're going to make this kind of money in 2020, not 2025 or 2030. We're going to make this kind of money in 2020, this year. Okay, and I'll go into a little more detail in that in a few minutes. But one other thing I wanted to tell you, and the slide is going to say it. This is not a organization that says go out and recruit thousands of people, throw the mud up against the wall, and see what sticks. This is not that company. We don't get paid a red cent to recruit people. Okay, the only way that you make an override on people is by bringing them into the business, helping them learn the business, helping them with the business, and you make an override when they make when they give away a grant. Okay, I don't make one penny by bringing somebody into this business at all. So we will never be considered a illegal pyramid, because again, nobody is making any money because you're recruiting somebody. Okay, there is 2 ways that you can make an override. The first requirement is you have to do one, what we say, grant recipient a year, just one. If you do one sale, you are good to go for the whole year. In addition to that, to make overrides, of course, you got to build a team. Now, you never have to build a team. You could just do this all by yourself and not build a team. But when you see the income for building a team, you might think twice about not building a team.
We'll showcase FundMyHome.org's lucrative compensation plan, which pays $750 in marketing fees plus overrides paid on 8 subsequent levels, all totaling $3,200 per transaction. Please note that FundMyHome.org does not pay for recruitment. It pays for personal production and overrides from the production of your team. Also, keep in mind that personally sponsoring new associate members is one of the only 2 necessary qualifiers needed to receive overrides. The second qualifier needed to receive overrides is the personal submission of at least 1 down payment assistance recipient per year. Okay, so let's talk about the marketing fees. Of course, you know that when you bring someone who gets down payment assistance from FundMyHome.org, you earn $750. You also have the option of building a team that can go down 8 levels of overrides. So to qualify for 8 levels of overrides, you have to personally sponsor 8 new associate members. If you want to qualify for 4 levels, you would then personally sponsor 4 associate members, etc. So let's give you an example of what would happen if you personally sponsor 3 new associate members, and you and they each refer 1 down payment assistance recipient for the month. In this example, you would earn $750 from your own transaction, plus $500 overrides from each referral brought in by your 3 personally sponsored associate members, for a total of $2,250 for the month, which is not bad for a part-time situation and only having a total of 4 people in your team. In this next example, if you personally sponsor 8 new associate members and they sponsor 1 new associate member each, and you and they each refer 1 down payment assistance recipient per month, which is only 12 transactions each per year. In this example, you would have a total of 65 associate members in your team. Your income potential would be $20,350 for the month. A significant amount of money, ladies and gentlemen, for only having 65 associate members in your team and personally referring 1 down payment assistance recipient per month. And if you're looking at the chart, you can see how the $3,200 in marketing fees is paid out between you and your team. $750 is paid to you on your personal production, then the rest is paid as overrides down to 8 levels. $500 in the first level, $450 in the second level, $400 in the third level, $350 in the fourth level, $300 in the fifth level, $250 in the sixth level, $150 in the seventh level, and $50 in the eighth level.
Okay, so to clarify this a little bit, again, you don't ever have to bring in anybody in this business. You can do your own grant recipients and make $750 every time you do. Okay, but if you build a team, if for example, I bring Ulysses into the business, and I teach him the business, I get him to where he's doing grants and he does a grant, he's going to make the $750. But the company says because Rick Paniss brought him into the business, we're going to pay him a $500 override. Okay, Ulysses brought in, I believe, Vivian into the business, and we're going to teach Vivian the business. She's going to do a grant. She's going to get paid her $750. But because Ulysses brought her into the business, Ulysses is going to make a $500 override. And because I brought Ulysses in the business, when Vivian does a grant, I'm going to make a $450 override. And it continues down to 8 levels. I got to tell you, I've only been in this business since September, and I really only got started at the very beginning of October. I have now, since last night, I have 66 people in my organization. I'm down to my 7th level on diamond level, and I know for a fact that this kind of income will be, I will be making this kind of income probably by March or April of this year. And again, I'm not anything special. I got started the same way everybody else gets started. But I know that because of what we're doing, and that's really the key. The key to this success is when you're trying to make money is this. What are you doing? Okay. We are giving people grants for down payment and closing costs, giving people grants for down payment and closing costs. We're not selling anything and stuff. I've been in many other things where I belong to the NFL club, no friends or no families left club and stuff like that. And a lot of times when you get involved in a new thing, you get afraid of sharing it with the people that are closest to you, friends and family, of course. Well, I got to tell you, when you're giving out a grant for a person to get a home, the down payment or closing cost grant, the first people you should be running to are your friends and your family, because they should be in homes themselves, and you're going to feel proud to be able to say that they're in their home because you helped them get a grant. It is absolutely amazing. There is no doubt in my mind that many people that are on this call today, if you understand the program, will make this kind of money. I'm going to pick on Ulysses for a second. Ulysses, are you there? Can you hear me, Ulysses? No. Vivian, are you there? I need one of my associates there. Ulysses, you there? Can you hear me? No? Okay, that's okay. So again, my point that I was trying to make is that
I'm here. This is Carol.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
I'm good. You can.
Okay, so I can pick on you. Great. I love to pick on people. Thanks. Okay, so Carol, I got to ask you a question. You've only been in this business for a very short period of time. Okay, but with what I showed you about the commercials and the stuff that I've already trained you on and stuff like that, is there any way possible that you don't think that you can give one grant away per year?
I don't know. I mean, I know I can do that. Hey, way more than that.
Way more than that. But I'm just asking for one. Can you do one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Now, in a few months, maybe 6 months and stuff, is there any way possible that you don't think that you would build a team of 8 people?
Yep, I can do that. Almost there.
Almost there already, correct? Okay, so my example is 8 people, 1 transaction. This example is 1 transaction per month, and you'll look at this kind of income. But I'm going to show you in the next screen.
All this totals $3,200 in marketing fees per referral. In this third example, if you personally sponsor 8 new associate members, and they sponsor 2 new associate members each, and you and they each refer 1 down payment assistance recipient per year, not 1 per month, only 1 per year. Ladies and gentlemen, in this example you would have a total of 2,041 associate members in your team and would earn over $23,000 for the month. A significant amount of money.
Okay, so this is my point. My point is that there's no way that Carol believes that she cannot do at least 1 grant recipient per year. In addition to that, she also believes that she can sponsor 8 people into her organization. So if she could do 1 transaction per year and sponsor 8 people, now look at what's happening. The 8 people that she brings in, maybe they're not as good as Carol. Okay, so they only bring in 2 people. So everybody else only brings in 2 people down to her 8th level. Her income could potentially be $23,129.17 per month, with everybody doing just 1 transaction per year. The bar cannot be any lower than that. And that's why I say that there are many people on this call that once they look at this and once they really get it, they're going to make this kind of income. And I'm going to talk about the TV commercials in a minute also with the calculator.
Honey.
Now, the next screen, I would tell you this, okay? the next screen is pie in the sky. I'm not going to kid you. It's pie in the sky. I will tell you this, though. I know that there's going to be many people in this company that are going to make this kind of income. It's not going to happen in 2020. There's no way possible that it's going to happen in 2020. But I'm going to tell you, it is going to happen. And I know that I'm one of the persons that are going to shoot for it because I know it's there. You know, when you set a goal and you see that the goal is attainable, then you go for it. Okay, well, I can tell you that this goal is attainable and I'm going to go for it. And I know that there's many people in our company that are going to go for it as well. But I'm not going to kid you. It's not going to happen in 2020. But here's my point. It can happen.
Now, in this final example, if you personally sponsor 8 new associate members and they sponsor 3 new associate members each, that means that you would have 8 associate members in your first level of overrides, 24 on your next, each level increasing by multiples of 3 for a total team of 26,241 associate members. And if you and they each refer 1 down payment assistance recipient per year, not 1 per month, only 1 per year. Ladies and gentlemen, in this example, your income potential would be well over $200,000 for the month. An extraordinary amount of money. All of this while providing your friends and family the opportunity to achieve their homeownership goals. A sustainable duplicatable system. No products to sell. No products to consume. No mortgage or real estate license needed. FMH does not pay commissions. FMH pays marketing fees. No FTC concerns. FMH does not pay for recruiting associate members, therefore it may never be called an illegal pyramid. Highest income potential. FMH pays 1,000 times more per transaction than what other direct sales companies do. Once you've built your team, your associate members will never leave you. Home buyers are required to publicize their down payment assistance on their social media when they get a clear to close before they close. This, ladies and gentlemen, will result in more interested down payment assistance recipients for you to service.
Okay, so let me just recap this. This is almost the end of our presentation, but just as a business sense, we have no products to sell. Again, we give grants away. There's no products. We don't fill up our garage with all kinds of products as well. We don't need a real estate mortgage or a license to participate with fundmyhome.org because we're a marketing company. We're not a lender. We're not a real estate agent. I don't talk about rates. I never talk about rates. Why? I don't know the rates. Don't care what the rates is. All I care about is my client going to get a grant? That's what I care about. I let the rest of the sequence take care of itself. Okay, we have no FTC concerns or Attorney General's concerns and stuff because we don't charge anybody money to join this company. We don't make a recruitment fee for bringing people into this company. Okay, I can tell you this: that the income that you make is going to be higher with this company than any other company because of the pay structure. I'm just gonna mute everybody for a second. If you have a question, please unmute yourself. Okay, so we don't have we don't get paid to bring people into the business. We also don't have we pay 1,000 times more than other direct marketing companies pay and stuff. In addition to that, our home buyers, once they receive their grant and before they close, they have to promote us on their social media. That's one of their requirements on their social media, that they received the grant from fundmyhome.org, and Rick Paniss was their grant specialist. All right, so what's that going to do? That's going to bring me more and more and more business. In addition to that, of course, they're going to be telling other people. And here's a real important clue. Homeowners will become your associate members, and associate members will become homeowners. So it's a natural ecosystem that we have for building our business.
Fundmyhome.org, you have an ecosystem. Home buyers become associate members, and associate members become home buyers. This, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our brief overview of our powerful common sense business opportunity. This is your company, and together we will succeed. We invite you to share fundmyhome.org's amazing down payment assistance program and lucrative, unparalleled and personally rewarding business opportunity with all your friends and family to take a part of the Million Homes Challenge. On behalf of our staff, our associate members and our down payment assistance recipients, thank you for your interest, support, and participation in fundmyhome.org. As we honor God in bringing our endeavor and the ownership of our company onto His hands, grace and glory, and pledge to honor God and His Son Jesus with our wealth. Every month fundmyhome.org will donate to a charity or choice, funds needed to benefit other homeowners in the communities where our associate members live. Goodbye for now. And remember, put God first. God bless everything you do. And our company.
Absolutely. Well, that is our presentation. And I tell you, I'm not ashamed to say that I believe that God brought this opportunity to me. Again, I was praying for something that I wanted to make. Before I leave this earth, I wanted to make sure that I did something that was a footprint in many communities, something that I know that I was going to feel good about doing. And I tell you this, if you can't feel good about giving somebody a grant so that they can move into a new home with their family, the best day that I'm going to have with fundmyhome.org is when I get that first Christmas card that says, Rick, thank you for helping us get into our home. We're celebrating our first Christmas in our beautiful home. That's going to be amazing to me. I'm probably going to break down and be very emotional when I get that first card. And I know that I'm going to get that first card. That's the power of what we're doing and stuff. And how about being in business that you are so proud to be in and stuff? I am so proud to be a associate member with fundmyhome.org. So that is our presentation. I am going to show you two calculators. One is our TV calculator, and then the second one is the most important calculator. Is I'm going to show you how people qualify for our grant program. Does that make sense? All right. Any questions on the presentation as of right now? You can unmute yourself if you do. Okay. I'm going to go to the calculator. Okay. So again, I'm going to try to unmute everybody just so that I can hear you and you can ask questions. Okay. So let's go to the TV commercial first. I'm going to go ahead to the TV commercial. Now, our production company, our TV production company says that because there is no competition with fundmyhome.org, that when this comes out, we should be closing at 60 to 70%. Okay, of everyone closing. Remember that the people that are calling in are people that have 680 credit score. They make $85,000 and they're W-2 seasoned employee. That means they've been on the job for over 2 years. Okay, so I dummied it down to 20% right now. So 20% closing ratio. You're going to get the maximum leads you're going to get is 20 leads, and yes, you have to pay for the leads. Well, I'll explain that in a second. But if I do 20 leads, and I'm a 20% closer, I'm going to close 4 transactions per month. Okay, that's 1 a week. Okay, so if I get 20, that's going to cost me $1,200. Okay, but if I close 4 deals, I'm going to make $3,000. So I don't know about you, but I would trade $1,200 for $3,000 every day and probably twice on Saturday. Okay. Now I'm going to show you this right here. This calculator is using an example that I am bringing in just one associate down to 8 levels. 1. That means I have 8 people straight down the line, 1 on my first level, 1 on my second level, 1 on my third level, and so forth. I told you already that I've only been in this business since middle of September, beginning of October, and I already have 66 people as of today. I have 66 people in my organization. This example is using 1 person down 8 levels. I close 20%. I do 4. That means I'm doing 4 transactions per month. I'm making $21,000 per year. That's not really a lot to sneeze at and stuff like that. But because of the override, the business part of building a team, my overrides will be $117,000, and my total yearly income would be about $139,000. I just made you a 6-figure income doing 1 transaction per week with 680 credit score, $85,000, and W-2 seasoned employees. Okay, Carol, welcome to the Six Figure Income Club. Okay. But again, we are not going to do 20%. We feel strongly that we're going to do 60%, but I'm just going to do 40% for right now. I'm going to do 40%. That means I'm going to close 8 transactions. My team is doing the same thing that I'm doing. I'm going to make $57,000 on my own with my own pen, but I'm going to make an override of $235,000 for a total income for about $292,000. And this is just from our TV productions. This is not including everything else that we're going to do. We're not doing people with 580 credit scores or 660 credit scores. We're doing all of those as well. But this, for the TV commercial, these are our A paper. This is what's going to brand us across the country in the United States. Let me go up to one more figure, what the TV production thinks that we're going to do. Okay, they think we're going to do 60 to 70% of closing on all of these calls. That means I will be doing 12 transactions, and I will be making about $93,000 just for my own pen on my own clients. Okay, but I will make a $352,000 override for a total income of almost $500,000 by doing 60% closing on 680 credit score, $85,000 of income, and seasoned employees. This again is just our TV commercial. Okay, so again, I would pay $60 for these leads every day and twice on Saturday. Okay, again, and this is a total of 8 people on my team. I told you earlier, I have 66 people on my team. So I'm going to pick on Carol again. Carol, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Carol. So I'm going to go back down to 20%. And I'm going to pick on you a little bit. So, Carol, if you receive a call from a person that's 680 credit score, makes $85,000, and a W-2 employee, what is the likelihood that you're going to be able to get them a grant?
Very much so.
Very much so. Okay, so you don't have any problems thinking that you can do 4 deals a month with our TV commercial, right? No, absolutely. Carol, welcome to the Six Figure Club.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is our calculator. Okay. Now, again, if there's any questions, feel free to ask those questions. I think I unmuted you. If I didn't, you can unmute yourself. Again, this is about to happen, and we're about to go nationwide with this calculator, with this company, with this television production company. It's going to be absolutely amazing. All right, I'm going to go to the other calculator real quick. Okay, so this is our down payment calculator, and it's coming up. I got to press another button here. Okay, and this is going to be the end of our presentation real quick, but let me. Okay, so here's the whole goal. The whole goal of this calculator is that when you get down to the end of this calculator, this word right here is going to pop up. It's going to say is good. Okay. If you get that word that says is good, then your client is a good fit for us, and it looks like they will get a grant. So down here in Florida, we have this thing called HOA fees. I'm going to raise that up to $300. HOA fees. This next screen right here talks about if I got your paperwork into the system, uploaded into the system today, then we would probably be able to close this whole deal by March 7th, 2020. The one that I did today, we got all their paperwork together today. They got in, they know what their grant is going to be, and their closing date is this date, March 7th, 2020. Okay, I'm going to put in here that we're working with a family of 4. It is a husband, wife, and 2 children. They make $85,000 a year. So one of the spouse makes $45,000. They have a car payment of $300. Their credit card, we only need what their minimum payment is. We don't need the full balance. We need the minimum payment, which is usually 1 to 1.5% of the balance. So we're going to use $30 there. We're going to take out alimony, child support. This is a family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 children. If one spouse makes 45, the other spouse has to make 40 to make the numbers work, because we said that they made $85,000. So one's making 45, the other is making 40. They also have a car payment of $300 as well. I'm going to take out this student loan for a second because I want to show you the power of our student loan. So that is 0, and I'm going to make it that they are looking for a house for about $375,000. $375,000. So as you can see, with all the numbers that I put in, with their income and their expenses
I need
and
this back
stuff,
to lunch, like 2.
you could see that my home buyer potential eligibility is good. And the reason for that is we need to be at just below 56%. And you can see that their debt to income is 54.924. So we're below the 56%. So it's good. You can see that the estimated cash flows needed from home buyers after assistance would be $11,997.17 to close on this $375,000 home. Now, I don't want you to get upset, because we have a program that we try to get everybody with little to no money out of pocket. And how do we do that? This next line right here is an estimate. Again, we don't know what state this is in or anything like that. So this line is just an estimate of what the person's principal, interest, and taxes, and insurance, and homeowners, and all of that kind of stuff would be. Okay. Again, once they get past the grant company and to the mortgage to our preferred lender, the preferred lender is going to tell them exactly what their number is. And at that point, once they know their exact numbers, they can decide to move forward. And the only thing they have paid up to this point was the $39 credit pull. Okay. That's the only thing that they paid up to this point. So if this number is too high or they don't like it, they can walk away. They lost $39. Okay. So then you see the next line here. It says, meanwhile, the approximately anticipated down payment without assistance would have been $13,125 for this transaction. And the estimated closing costs, prepaid reserves that would have been needed would have been another $20,747.17. So the total would have been $33,872.17 in a normal transaction. That's what they would have needed to come up with to close this deal. Okay, but I told you earlier that our goal is to try to get people to this closing with little to zero out of pocket. So how does that work? Okay, if any one of our clients has a credit score of 660 or above, we are going to give them a grant for $33,872.17, and they could buy a piece of property, a home, their dream home, any place in the United States. Again, I'll say that one more time. If their credit score is 660 or higher, we will give them the grant for the $33,872.17, and they can buy their dream home any place in the United States. Okay. Now, if their credit score is below 660, if their credit score is 580 to 650, I'm sorry,
Michael.
659. If their credit score is just below 660 but above 580, then they can buy a home in a USDA area. And I'm going to show you that on my map in a second. And if they find a home in a USDA area, we will give them a grant for $33,872.17. Okay. Again, so they will come up with no money out of pocket. Now, let's use me as example. I live in Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach is not a USDA area. So if I want to live in Daytona Beach, my credit score has to be 660. If it's 660, I can live in Daytona Beach. If it's not 660, if it's 580 but below 660, and I want to live in Daytona Beach, then I would have to come up with this $11,997.17, and the grant would be for a little over $20,747. So I still would get a grant, but I just would have to come up with a little money out of my pocket if I want to live on Daytona Beach. Okay. So again, let me just recap this one more time, and then I'm going to show you the eligibility map. If your credit score is 660 or above, you can purchase a home any place in the United States, and on this transaction of $375,000, we would give you a grant for $33,872.17. If your credit score is between 580 and 660, and you can purchase a home in a USDA area, we will give you a grant for $33,872.17. If you want to live in a non-USDA area, then that's when you would have to come up with a little bit of money out of your pocket. So let me show you the eligibility map. Here is the eligibility map. You can see this is the United States Department of Agriculture. This is their map. I put in an address. This is my old address. I just moved from this address just a few months ago. I moved to Daytona Beach. But this is my old address, and I'm going to show you that my sign says this address is located in an eligible area. So if I wanted to buy a house in this area and my credit score was above 580 but below 660, excuse me, I can buy a house in this area. And just to show you on this map, this house that I was living in here, it was a townhouse, is literally 15 minutes from Disney World. There's Disney World right here. This is 15 minutes from Disney World. Okay, so if I want to live near Mickey Mouse, I can buy a house in this area with little to no money out of pocket, and actually no money out of pocket because it's a USDA area. Okay, let me show you exactly where I live right now because it's going to be very. Okay, so right here is where I live right now. Okay, this is the example that I want to use. Right here, I live right here in this area right here. You can see it's a yellow area. Okay, so again, if I wanted to live there and I had a 660 credit score, I could live there. Okay, no problem. Okay, if I don't have a 660 credit score, my credit score is 580 to just on the 660, but I want to live near Daytona Beach, all I have to do is move to this area over here, find a house in this area, and I won't have to put up any money down. Zero down because it's a USDA area. So it'll take me 5 more minutes to get to the beach. Okay? That's the power of our USDA area. Again, if I wanted to live here, I would have to come up with some money if my credit score was not 660. Okay, let me show you the rest of the United States. All the white areas are USDA areas. All the yellow areas are non-USDA areas. And as you can see, that most of the United States, actually 90% of the United States is USDA area.
No, it's not.
90% of the United States is USDA area. Again, I'm just showing you the map. So, all of this area is USDA area. Okay, so if I wanted to live in Houston, I couldn't live right in Houston unless my credit score was above 660, but I could go over here and live in Liberty, and there'd be no money down. So, okay, I'm going to mute everybody again, and if you have a question, just unmute yourself, okay? Okay, I guess I'm not. Did I unmute everybody? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is the power of our USDA map. Again, you can see that most of the United States is in a USDA area. So therefore, we have the ability to give many excuse me, sorry for that. Many people the ability to get into a new home with no money out of pocket. So with that is my presentation. I will open up the mics again for questions. And sorry about that. Hold on one second. Press the wrong button. Okay. Okay, this is your time for questions. Anybody have any questions on the presentation or anything that I might be able to answer for you to help you make a decision to join our team?
Hi, Rick.
Yep, go ahead.
Yes, this is Christina. I'm out here in Arizona, and
Okay.
and I couldn't see that map showing California and my part of Arizona, Washington, Oregon. It's homes are very high there.
Yeah, they are. They're very high, and you're going to have a lot of areas. You know, you're going to see areas that are not by the beach, of course, in Arizona. I mean, California is a tough place for us, but you can see Arizona. You can see Arizona. It's still Arizona. Again, most of the city areas you're not going to find, but outside of the city areas, like out here in Florence and Gila Bend and Congress and all of those areas, you can see that they are USDA areas. Okay, California's a little bit tough. You're not going to see like around the city areas and things like that. But outside of the cities, of course, you'll find plenty of places in California as well.
All right. Okay. Would you say 375,000 would be a guideline?
Oh no. We can go. That's a good question. But the loan that I'm doing right now is she got approved for $1.2 million.
Well, then how does she? Then she has to come up with the difference in the down payment.
She could have to come up with a difference in the down payment, but that doesn't mean that she's buying a $1.2 million. That's what she got approved for. She's looking for more of a house around the $500,000-$600,000 example, but she got approved for $1.2 million. All I'm saying is that we could do jumbo loans and get people approved also, and the ability for them to get a grant, and the amount of the grant, we normally go up to $48,000, but the grant company could go even higher.
Oh, that's okay. Well, what's the highest it could go?
I don't know that because I'm not privy to that information, and so the only way we'll find that out is when we do a deal, to be able to submit it, and they would tell them what the grant is going to be, based on again, of course, their income and stuff like that. So they're not going to punish people that make a good income. The person that I'm working with right now, their income is $270,000 a year. So and even though they made $270,000, they're going to get a grant from us.
Okay, all right, thank you. And do they, by the way, do they have their name on that title, or is it just in the homeowner?
No, just the homeowner. We don't have anything to do with the title. Well, there's no paybacks, there's no liens, there's no nothing.
Okay, and just a last question. If I own my home here in Arizona, but if I wanted to buy one somewhere else as a rental, can we do that?
You can't buy one as we don't do. You have to. It has to be your primary residence. We can do. You're in Arizona. We can do vacation homes. We can get you a grant for a vacation home, but it's got to make sense to the bank. In other words, if you live in Arizona and you wanted to buy something in Vegas, let's say, well, they could consider that a vacation home, or Lake Tahoe, or California someplace. They would consider that. But if you lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and you wanted to buy another property in Phoenix, Arizona, they're probably going to realize that you're trying to buy a rental. Now, you could buy a new house as your primary residence and rent out the house that you're in right now. No problem.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Mr. Rick, could you keep the map up? This is Christy. How are you today?
Hi, Christy. Great. I'm good. Where do you want me to go?
To Mississippi. I sounded like I saw some parts of Alabama, but I couldn't hardly see Mississippi.
Okay. It's Mississippi. Yeah, you're pretty good to go almost any place in Mississippi.
Okay, so the Gulf Coast, that'll be,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay. All right, all right,
A-
all right.
Absolutely. Great, great. Any other questions?
Body wash, baby.
Body wash?
Yeah, body wash.
Any other questions?
Oh, the ivory.
Okay. Right.
Johnson & Johnson.
No, he said he
I
liked
have,
ivory
uh,
last time
I
when I asked him if he
have
wanted
a
Johnson
question.
Johnson, dijo que no,
You have a question? Go
que no
ahead.
lo usaba como olía.
Yeah, my name is Uche.
Otro
Okay.
bote grande, ¿no?
In the course of it, you mentioned 1,200.
Yes.
I was wondering that 1,200 will it come after the deduct from
It's a
what you
video
made,
on
or we have to
YouTube.
pay that up?
Hold on one
It's a video
second.
on YouTube.
Uche, I'm going to mute everybody. I want you to unmute yourself because I can't hear your question. So let me mute everybody, and then when you please unmute yourself, okay? Go ahead, Uche. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I
Okay.
just did, yes.
Okay, great. What's your question again, please?
I said you made mention of about 1,200.
Yes.
Okay. The 1,200, is it something that has to be paid up front, or they deduct?
No, absolutely not. The 1,200, it's only if you took 20 leads, and once you made money with the TV commercials, they would take it out of the money that you earned and send you the rest of the money. So, for example, if you made $6,000, then they'll take the $1,200 out of the $6,000, and then would send you the $4,800 that you earned. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
had that, but I didn't want to interrupt the
Yeah, no,
meeting. Then
that's a great
that was my
question.
concern.
Good question. No, absolutely. And again, that's the confidence that the company has in their program, that they're not charging us any money up front. They're gonna deduct it out of the money that we make. Okay.
Well,
All
that's
right.
cool.
All right. Great question. Great question. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, I'm just going to unmute everybody for a second again. If there's no other questions, I'm going to end this thing. Please, if there's something that you would like to know more about, please get back with the person that invited you on this call. Again, this is just a great opportunity, a great company to work with. Also, and again, you heard what I said, to work with, not work for. We work with them. This is our company. And together, we're going to make, one, we're going to make a lot of money, but two, we're going to be a footprint in many communities across this beautiful United States. So again, with that, I wish you all well. God bless you all. And hopefully you'll make a decision to join us. Any other questions before I hang up? No? Okay. You sure? All right. God bless you all. Ulysses, thanks for setting it up. Okay. And again, please get in touch with the person that invited you here. Thank you, everyone. Everyone, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okay.